On May 25, 2011, the Ministry of Public Administration launched the Green Paper entitled Transforming the Civil Service Through Renewal and Modernization. This Green Paper outlines the critical measures to be undertaken by the Government of the People's Partnership to ensure that the civil service becomes responsive, value-driven, service-oriented, productive, innovative, integrated, and efficient. According to the Green Paper, the target of this effort is the creation of a civil service characterized by 1. Its ability to consistently provide courteous and efficient service to all members of the national community. 2. Its ability to provide value for money in all of its operations. 3. Creativity and a willingness to tolerate and take acceptable risk in the delivery of its services to the public. And 4. Its ability to leverage the use of ICTs for greater coordination and collaboration at the interdepartmental and intra-departmental levels. Ladies and gentlemen, this program is aimed at strengthening the capability and capacity of people and improving key structures and systems within the civil service by focusing on 6 key areas. 1. Strengthening the center of governance. 2. Human resource management. 3. Leadership and management development. 4. Service delivery. 5. Information and communication technology. And 6. Very important, property facilities management. Providing suitable, comfortable, modern, energy-efficient, productivity-oriented, and OSHA-compliant accommodation for government, ministries, and departments will impact, and I'm sure you will agree, will impact on all the other 5 areas I just mentioned. And I think this because of your this morning, when Roger, the chairman, he expanded the definition of facilities management culture to include people, places, processes, and technologies. So our workplace will impact on how we can strengthen the center of governance, our human resource management, our leadership and management styles, and information, the use of information and communication technology. One can easily advance that the civil service is the lifeblood of a government's policy implementation and service delivery. However, in the past, be it through perception or reality, the civil service in Trinidad and Tobago has not achieved a significant level of recognition for good service and delivery. And I quote here from the Green Paper. According to the Green Paper, the Ease of Doing Business Index 2010, prepared by the World Bank and the International Finance Corporation, when it ranks economies on their ease of doing business, among the 183 countries examined, Trinidad and Tobago is currently ranked 97th, 2 points down from 2009, ranking of 59th, of 95th. This is significantly below what you believe to our next door neighbor, St. Lucia, which is 53, and of course Singapore, which is number 1. Having said that, let me immediately add that it has not been for a lack of driven, motivated, and efficient civil service employees. In my time since being elected to serve the people of our country, I have come across quite a number of dedicated and ambitious civil service employees who, despite not having the requisite resources, have still been able to deliver. And when given the enabling environment, that these and other civil service employees will be able to perform at their highest in a special league of their own. The government is the single largest employer in our country, with a human resource base of 68,000 employees. And that is just the civil service alone, 68,000. If we expand it to the wider public service, we are speaking to over 80,000 employees. You will therefore agree that a successful process of transformation in the civil service should be considered critical to the government of the People's Partnership policy implementation thrust. We need a highly motivated and productive civil service. And this morning, I will share with you some of our strategies which will deliver this transformation. Ladies and gentlemen, the civil service must not only transform, but rather it must flip the script on the current perceptions, up the stakes in its approach to service delivery, and take leadership in performance and productivity. What this means is that while we pursue transformation, we appreciate that it is incumbent upon us as the government to provide a comprehensive set of structures, processes, and mechanisms to effect this change. And in saying that, we must be willing to move beyond the talk into implementation. We also recognize that it's incumbent upon the Ministry of Public Administration to ensure that as it completes strategies and prepares for implementation, we can link directly into our nation's total social and economic development thrust and contribute to sustainable growth in a tangible way. It is for these reasons, as well as an abiding commitment to the safety and comfort of our people, that an important element to this thrust is the provision of the kind of facilities through which all civil service employees can carry out their work effectively, and citizens of Trinidad and Tobago can receive that service. These facilities must cater to the comfort and safety of the publics which we serve and must be fit for purpose, well furnished, comfortable, safe, and most important, conducive to maximizing performance and productivity. Key to this conference, as well as our nation's total development, is the inclusion of green building codes and a move towards environmentally responsible and resource-efficient facilities governed by clear policies. We are of the firm conviction that green building codes can ease the impact of facilities and buildings on human health and the natural environment by one, resource-efficient measures to control energy, water, and other resource consumption. Two, an enhanced level of employee productivity. And three, a reduction in pollution, waste, and environmental impact. In doing so, let me assure you that this government has every intention of learning from the mistakes of the past. We can use the example of the Riverside Plaza, which was built in 1981. Today, 30 years later, a building which could still have been considered immodern and glorious appears as a relic of good intentions, unsupported by structures for appropriate facilities management and a development process that takes at its core the comfort, safety, and well-being of civil service employees. Since then, we have seen a number of other state-owned facilities constructed, which in some instances fell to a level of neglect and lack of maintenance. With the portfolio of state-owned properties currently housing government ministries are Trinidad House, the Eric Williams Financial Complex, the Hall of Justice, the Tampuna and Sicario Administrative Complexes, and the Port of Spain International Waterfront Complex. State-owned facilities close to completion of base building construction and to be outfitted for occupation include the Government Campus Plaza, the Ministry of Education Tower, and the Chancery Lane Complex in San Fernando. Currently, as many as 259 lease rental arrangements exist for ministries and other state agencies in privately owned properties. The development plans take into consideration the need for energy-efficient structures fitted and organized in a manner to maximize energy use, while at the same time inspiring higher levels of productivity and performance of our civil service employees. The Riverside Plaza, the Eric Williams Medical Sciences Complex, and many of the older structures will show that to now, we have not been able to answer this question or these questions in the affirmative. Ladies and gentlemen, this is where we shift away from the past. This is where we end a period of building for glorious acclaim and begin a period of delivering the kind of environment our our employees need and deserve to appropriately carry out their functions. This is where we move beyond just agreeing people into a mode of continuous collaboration, consultation, partnership, yes, partnership, Mr. Chairman, and cohesive implementation. What is clear to us is that if the government intends to increase the stock of state-owned properties for provision of appropriate accommodation for the civil service, in addition to policy measures, skills development and facilities management and maintenance must receive greater attention and a much more defined focus. This is why we will move to develop both standards and academic programs, backed by determined implementation to ensure that taxpayers receive value for money, both from expenditure on facilities and also from the expenditure on maintaining them. Our approach requires that the facilities manager, as a professional, must ensure that the work of the organization continues uninterrupted. He or she must therefore possess quite a toolkit of skills to be effective. In fact, these skills are clearly articulated by the International Facilities Management Association, IFMA, a local chapter which was granted chapter status here in June 2009. In addition to project management, facility planning, construction and space management skills, a facilities manager must have a good grasp of the principles of business administration, information technology, architecture engineering, real estate, and sustainable energy efficiency, in addition to having an appreciation of business processes, people, spaces, technology. The facilities manager must be detail-oriented, have the ability to multitask, and display good problem analysis and resolution skills. In pursuing the development of these professionals, the government will develop academic programs which will be channeled through the Public Services Academy of the Ministry of Public Administration. Also, through the Ministry of Public Administration scholarships and advanced training division, in fact we had a discussion on this yesterday, tertiary level programs of study in facilities management will be identified for which scholarships will be offered. Further, we must ensure that facilities management is introduced into the curriculum of our tertiary education institutions, where it does not exist currently. Even further, we must ensure that state-owned office facilities are constructed in appropriate locations in accordance with the development plans for different regions throughout this country. In addition, as government, I spoke earlier as one of the key areas, strengthening the center of government. So as governments around the world are moving towards decentralization of service delivery through local government agencies, public-private sector partnerships, and through an appropriate ICT platform design so that government can move to providing the one-stop shop for the delivery of all government services. Therefore, when we look at development plans, we must ensure that we consider how such facilities will enhance community